So again, I don't know. Chewy would know this better than I do, but how do you know? I mean, I'm not sure that I've seen anything that I'm like, boy, okay, they're good to go for Brazil. Now I haven't been to a single Philadelphia Eagles practice either, so who the heck knows if they're ready? And I would argue that most teams probably aren't ready, right? Based on the way they approach preseason and who plays and who doesn't and all that stuff. So I think that part is anybody's guess. As far as how their camp has gone, I mean, I think it's been pretty. I don't want to say lame. That would be derogatory. But like it hasn't been. If they were doing Hard Knocks on the Packers, I've been kind of disappointed with the first two episodes on the Bears. It's just kind of meh. And I kind of feel like this training camp for them has been kind of meh, right? Like Love has not been star-spangled awesome where you're really excited about where he's at. I was going to, at least going into Denver, I was going to say that, I was really encouraged by the defense and the success they've had against Love in the offense. But then at the same time, like Bo Nix and the Broncos' number one offense had a fair amount of success against the Packers defense in Denver. I wasn't there, but based on people that I talked to that were, the defense struggled, not as much as the offense struggled. And then obviously not as much as the backup struggled on Sunday night. But so I don't have a great feel, even though I've been to every practice. I don't, other than the Denver one, I don't have a great feel for how good they are, how ready they are, or even what's been most compelling. There's not even like a, plucky little undrafted free agent that you're really rooting for who's going to beat the odds. Like there's not even that, hasn't really even been that storyline so far in camp.
The strange thing to me, Jason, is how they talk about how great a camp this guy's playing when they're in helmets, in shorts. It's like that's how All Oneida came about. Because back in the day, coaches didn't care. Like, well, you're in helmets and shorts. Anybody can look great there, But there's so many questions like Quay Walker. What kind of camp have you had? Devontae Wyatt. I mean, there's so many question marks for me on the defensive side of the ball, and I didn't expect, what happened. And I really don't care about the game because the game was vanilla, their coverages, which is fine.
Well, in the game that the twos were playing and
sure, but to get worked in a scrimmage against a team that is probably going to win 8 games, Jason.
Yeah, I mean, they may be they may be the second best team in the West. They may not be. I don't know how their quarterback's going to be, but right. No, I agree. I mean, I don't know what the Chargers are going to be. I don't know what the Raiders are going to be. But your point is that this is not a team where you're thinking, okay, these guys are going to go deep in the playoffs, right? Now, here's the other issue. Like you mentioned, Devontae Wyatt. That's a great example. Like he had those back-to-back plays in the game against Cleveland, where he got penetration, pressured the quarterback. One led to a sack by Van Ness. The other one led to an incomplete pass. But that wasn't their starting offensive line. Like for all of the, the 3 plays and a touchdown to Dontavion Wicks, or 8 plays by the defense, and then the first team defense is out. Like, okay, they did to the Browns offense and defense of number 2s what the Broncos did to the Packers number 2s, right? I mean, It was for a shorter time because they didn't stay in the game as long as the Broncos guys did. But so not even that leads to any sort of feeling. And I don't want to be a hypocrite here. I still don't want my guys, and I understand that this is me being the helicopter beat writer that I am, but I still don't want my guys playing in the games that don't count. Like I would rather, and I always bring up 2021 as the example. Like I don't even care if I get boat raced in the opener. Like the Green Bay Packers of 2021 had their quarterback win the NFL MVP for the fourth time in his career. They were the number one seed and had the best record in the NFC and had a bye and home field advantage throughout the playoffs. Forget that they squandered it. And they started their season with a 38-3 loss to the Saints. So, I am of the belief that preseason not only doesn't matter, but isn't worth the risk. And again, I am guilty of this because I, like Ted Thompson, believe that you should put your best players in bubble wrap. You should work them hard in practice where the environment is controlled, but you should put them in bubble wrap. And then I was there in Pittsburgh, and I understand that changed. A lot of the people that were there then aren't there now. Goody was, I think Goody had moved to Green Bay then and was one of Ted's lieutenants in Green Bay by then. But I just don't know how you have a season completely derailed, which is what happened that day, by losing a first-team All-Pro wide receiver who was coming off the best year of his career and was one of the best players in the entire league in 2014. I don't know how you aren't scarred by that if you were there at the time. So, again, I don't have a problem with playing it safe, but at the same time, if you're going to ask me questions, which are valid questions, about how ready they are, because of the way they've approached it and the way I believe they should approach it, I don't know the answer to that.